So your window is pretty small. You're gonna want to probably pop one or two ults before or at the same time you pop your Mona ult. And then you're gonna want to swap to your big damage and pop as much damage as possible during this window. Hey, what's up guys? This is Alex and today we're going to be playing Genshin Impact and we're bringing you guys a guide on Mona. Now before we get into this guide, one of the coolest things you can do actually with Mona is just her sprint ability, which allows her to just become water and to go very fast both on the ground but also in water itself, as long as you were already in this form as you entered water, which is super convenient. Now there are two reasons why I can do this very fast. The first one is because I'm using two wind characters which increase my movement speed by 10%. The other reason is because my Mona is using a 5-star book that increases my movement speed by 10%. I believe there's another book that also does a similar effect, which you can look into. And also Razor has a passive taunt that reduces stamina consumption by 20%, as well as having two wind characters which should reduce it by 15%. So we can actually use this to just travel around the world very fast whenever you're just chest hunting or following specific routes. My Mona is currently level 80. I actually leveled her this morning because finally I reached adventure rank 40, which was I've been working very hard for at this point in the game. The weapon that she is using is the Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds, which is a 5-star weapon. The base attack is rather high, and also there's crit rate on there. Additionally, increased movement speed by 10%, and when in battle, gain 8% elemental damage bonus every 4 seconds, and this can stack up to 4 times, and it will last until the character falls or leave combat. Now, assuming you don't have a 5-star weapon for Mona, there are a few other good options. The Eye of Perception is a bursty option, but it is not my favorite, even though it does give attack percentage. The Wit Sit is also, in my opinion, one of the more interesting options because of the versatility that it brings to the team. But even better than this, in my opinion, is going to be the Favonius Codex, mostly because it increases energy recharge and also going to help you really build that ultimate to really have that ultimate up as often as possible, which in turn is going to allow you to have really big windows for a lot of big burst damage. Now for the artifacts, right now I'm running a 2-piece of the Exile for energy recharge, which is especially important for Mona, and we'll explain to you once we reach the talents. And then also one of Restruve for just increase the mental mastery. The most important thing really is just at first at least is to just try to prioritize some of the better artifacts that you have. And in this case, like even though this may not be the best set in the world for her, it does really have a high attack percentage, so things like this are going to matter a whole lot, especially early on in the game. Now if I could actually run the perfect gear for this character, in my case I would definitely try to get 4 pieces of Noblesse Oblige, mainly because the 2 set piece bonus gives elemental burst damage by 20% increase, which is very good. Elemental burst being your ultimate, and the 4 set piece bonus is using elemental burst, increase all parties member attack by 20% for 12 seconds, and this cannot stack. So this is extremely good, especially for Mona because of how her ultimate works, which we'll cover in the talent section. For Mona's talents, the first one is the straightforward one. Obviously she's doing hydro damage, and it is her normal attacks and charge attacks, which are fine. For the mirror reflection of doom, you're going to basically create a little taunting phantom, and it's going to do AoE damage over time as a dot. It's going to explode after a set duration. You can also decide to press and hold the button, make your Mona reposition herself backwards during encounter, so that can be especially useful. The damage over time does 32%, and the explosion damage is 133%, and the cooldown is 12 seconds. Now Illusory Torrent is actually your sprinting ability. It just cloaks you. Also is going to make you move at a high speed, both on the ground and on water, and also going to apply the wet status to nearby enemies. And there's also another talent that's come and get me Hag, that whenever you're going to do your sprint, you're also, after 2 seconds, if you go near enemies, going to create a phantom that's going to last for 2 seconds. It's going to explode for 50% of the actual skill for the phantoms. Now for Mona's ultimate, Stellaris Phantasm, it's actually going to create a bubble, and enemies inside are going to be wet and immobile if they're weaker enemies. And after a set duration, they're going to take a whole lot of damage. And also during the time that the Omen is active, so it's a 4-second window for this ultimate, Enemies inside are going to take increased damage by a specific percentage, which is also very good for Mona, especially with the Noblesse Oblige set, like I was saying. So if we look at the values, the bubble lasts 8 seconds or until broken. The damage is 442%. Damage bonus, this is the Omen basically bonus whenever you're going to be swapping to another character, is 42% at level 1 of the talent. Omen duration is 4 seconds, so your window to actually burst is kind of short, but it is going to be quite worth it. Cooldown is 15 seconds and 60 energy cost, so having a whole lot of energy recharge on this character is going to allow you to use this ultimate very often. Now for Waterborne Destiny, it is going to increase the hydro damage bonus by 20% of her energy recharge, which is one of the other reasons why building energy recharge on Mona is a very good idea. Now for last passive, it's only that whenever you craft essential materials, she has a 25% chance to refund a portion of the crafting materials, so it is pretty useful. Now for Mona's constellations, the first one is always a very good one. The effect of hydro-related elemental reactions are enhanced for 8 seconds after a character hits an enemy affected by an omen, so by the duration of your ult, basically the 4 seconds. Electrocharge, Vaporize, Hydro Swirl is all damage increased by 15%, and then the duration of frozen enemies is increased by 15%. For Lunar Chain, it is when normal attacks hit, there is a 25% chance that will be automatically followed by a charge attack, so it can be a little bit of extra DPS. This can only affect once every 5 seconds, that's not too bad. Restless Revolution just increase your ult by 3 levels, that's fine. Prophecy of Oblivion is actually very good. When a character attacks an enemy affected by the Omen status effect, so the ultimate, their crit rate is increased by 15%, so it's just going to further fuel that ultimate window for more damage. Mockery of Fortune will just increase your Phantom level by 3, which is, you know, the usual constellations. And finally, the last one, Resurrex of Calamitis. Upon entering Illusory Content, Torrent, so your sprint. Mona gains 60% increased damage of her next charge attack per second of movement, and this is a maximum of 180%. This is mostly after roaming. Once you start an encounter, you can actually open up with a charge attack to do a lot of damage. Let's go into the Sprawl Abyss floor number 10 for now, just to show you guys the type of damage you can do with Mona, but also as she's more like a secondary DPS, what she can actually enable. So your window is pretty small. You're going to want to probably pop 1 or 2 ults before or at the same time you pop your Mona ult. And then you're going to want to swap to your big damage and pop as much damage as possible during this window. And as you can see, the bubble just popped for 5,400 damage, and this is basically what you want to rinse and repeat for a lot of big AoE damage. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you found the information useful and it's going to help you build your Mona the way that I was able to build mine. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. You can also join our Discord if you would like to. The link is going to be in the description box, guys. Thank you and have a good day.